What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be walking through how I organize all my tackle, and then I'm going to take you guys out on a little local creek. We're going to see if we can take some of this gear out and catch some little creek bass. So stick with us, stay tuned. Let's go have a day. Alright, so starting all the way on the left, what we have first is I have some of these like little blue containers right here, and so I kind of have some like miscellaneous stuff in a lot of them. But in like this top one, it's full of like little crappie and panfish plastics, and just whenever I'm like looking for certain sizes and stuff, I keep all the excess stuff just kind of in there. And then when you go down one, this is gonna make all my bass fishing stuff. So this is gonna be all my plastics that if I kept them in the package, there's only like one or two. So I've got like some random like pink flukes. I've got some of the Guggen Squad lizards in here, and just some of the random stuff that I've kind of used. And these guys, you can still use them, so if I ever just need like a random plastic, like a little shaky head worm or something like that, I can just take something from here instead of opening up a brand new pack. That's kind of the point of that. And then up here we have some plastics that when you open them up, it actually rips off the little knob. So for example, we've got like some big bite baits, some like little swim baits right here. And you see when you rip that top thing off, I'm not able to hang it up, so got like some of those type of plastics up there. And then down here I've got these used to be all my filthy frogs, so it's kind of like backup supply of frogs right there. I love throwing frogs, especially now in the summer. And then going further down, this is where I keep all my terminal stuff. So I've got some Guggen terminal. I love fishing like the Trocar lineup of Eagle Claw. I've got a lot of that stuff down here. And then to the left, it used to be my backup supply of red eye shads. I have like 6 or 7 in here, but I just recently unboxed those and got them in my little lipless and shallow crank box. So I just got completely stocked up on those. So this container down here right now, it doesn't really have anything in it. And then as we go farther to the right, this is where I keep basically all my plastics. So anything that is going to be in the actual like clamshell or in the actual original packaging, I like to hang them up. So I kind of go from the very top. I've got trench hawks, crown crawls, and bandito bugs. These are my top 3 plastics of all time. I throw these guys more than any of the other baits. And then to kind of keep myself organized as I go down, so I went trench hawks, and then I got worms. So these are like slim shakes, and I've got some Mondo worms back here as well. And then you go down, and I've got like the Yamamoto Senkos here. I've got the Strike King Senkos. I've got some Zoom Finesse Senkos. And so that's kind of like my Senko one. And then right below that, I just got like some line down here. And so I've got like my fluorocarbon, my braid, and that's really the only line I'm using. And then so we got crank crust here, and then we go craws again, and these are the rattle and chunks. So these are really good jig trailers, like throwing those. Then more craws down here. So these are the Ultra Vibe Speed craws. And then I've got like chatterbait trailers. So these are, I've got a couple packs of these Yamamoto Zakos, and I've also got those new Guggen Happy trailers in there. And then below that, I got some more trailers. These are for my spinnerbaits though. I love throwing, these are the Game Changer lures. I love throwing these on the back of spinnerbaits of the Eliminator. Those guys are really, really good. And then farther to the right, got my bandito bugs, and then right below that, rage bugs. I really kind of go back and forth between these. I would rather throw bandito bugs, but there's some colors in the rage bug that they make that the Guggen does not. So then I'll throw those. And then below that, I start getting my swim baits. So like saucy swimmers here, got some of those. And then I've got like the Berkeley grass pig. And then way down here, I've got all my Game Changer lures, Trash Master jigs. I also recently got those in boxes. So there's a couple back here for like extra stock, but a lot of these guys I just took out and put in my jig box, because these Trash Master jigs are my favorite jig of all time, and I'll get into why. I'll show you my box in just a second. Okay, and then I've got like my little shelf thing down here. This is kind of some random stuff. You see some more containers, some like really old square bills right there. And then, yeah, it's basically it. And then below this, I keep like my rod socks. So whenever I'm traveling, I'll keep that. And I've also got like the gallon-sized Ziplocs if I want to like throw some plastics and stuff in there. Below that, I've got extra reels and just kind of like a junk drawer. And then below that, I keep all my panfish stuff down there. So like my more hard baits for panfish. Keep my soft baits kind of up here. And then as we move along, so this over here, this is where I keep most of my rods. These are like my shorter rods back here. So I've got 3 spinning rods, and then I've got 1 casting right here. These are rods that are going to be 7 foot and shorter. So I tend to keep my spinning rods at around 7 foot. That's kind of like my favorite size. Both 2500 size reels. On all my spinning, I go braid like 50, like what I run on it. I'm pretty sure it's 15 or like 15 to 30 pound braid as like my backing. And then, not my backing, like my main line, sorry. I'll run braid as my main line, and then I'll put like a 10 pound fluorocarbon leader on that. And that, I love doing that on all my spinning rods. The braid's super sensitive, can cast far, and that fluorocarbon is really clear. And then my casting, this is my shorter casting rod. I love throwing jerk baits on that rod, kind of reaction moving baits, like square wheels and stuff. Love throwing that on that rod. And then over here is where I keep like all my trays. So these are gonna be all my hard baits over here. You can see that I got Texas rig terminal in a small box just because that's my what I use terminal the most. Right below that we got shallow cranks and lipless baits, top water baits, jigs, my terminal, and then deep diving cranks. And so I like keeping all this labeled, and I also label them, most of them on the side, so that way no matter which way it's laying in the boat or the truck, whatever, it'll be good to go and I can just grab what I need. Right below that we've got the extra dividers that all these come with. I've got some extra plastics. These are plastics that I can just use right away, like some jig trails, like these are old bandito bugs and stuff. And then just junk drawer, and then I got my spinnerbait, chatterbait box right here. I got some A-rigs right there, and then in this Carl's bait and tackle box, I actually keep like my scissors, tape, scale, pliers, gloves, gear ties, just kind of like some random stuff that I can grab and I know I'll need. And then I've got my bank fishing backpack, just throw camera gear, whatever I need in there. Got a net, got a knife, and then this stuff is really nice. This is where I keep like my crankbaits that I find, and then I can maybe kind of repurpose and reuse, because hard baits are pretty expensive, and so if you can find a way to try to reuse them, fix up the paint, put new hardware on them, it really can save you a lot of money. So I've got a couple of those lined up. And then up here I've got like some spoons I used when I was up north pike fishing, so those are kind of like my retired baits. Don't really want to lose those or anything, so kind of keep those up here. And then backing away a little bit, here's on my longer casting rods. I've got a 7/6 medium heavy. You can see right now I was throwing a swim bait. Actually I found some on bed, and I caught a bedfish on this swim bait, which was really insane. And then over here I got my top water rods. So right now I've got frogs on this guy right here, and 50 pound braid. This is a Guggen go-to, and this is a favorite Emperor rod. So those are good rods. And then over here I've got like my big like catfish rod, or whenever I'm just bank fishing and I'm just going for something really big. I've got a big 7 foot heavy, just a really big reel in there, and just some heavy line. And I think that's basically it. Kind of keep my stuff in this corner right here. I'm gonna be trying to do like tutorials, and this will be kind of like a cool like backdrop, I think, for when I'm doing that. And really just trying to stay organized, because fishing, the more you're organized, I feel like the better you can just kind of like get on your time on the water is just a lot more. You can catch more fish if you're more organized. You can spend more time fishing. And so yeah, that's basically it. Probably gonna rig up a couple rods now and go to a little creek, see if we can catch some bass. And yeah, oh wait, I was gonna show you those jigs though that I really like. I was gonna talk about that. Alright, so this is my jig box, and so my favorite jig of all time is the Trash Master jig. I'm gonna show you why. So as you can see, this jig does not have a weed guard on it. And here, let me find one that. So while it has, it's got a little, I don't know if you can see that in there. It's a little screw lock right in there. Let me get that to focus. There, right there, a little screw lock that you can screw your bait on, and you can screw it on and make it completely weedless, and it just allows that bait to, I just like it. I honestly find it a lot more weedless than like your traditional jig. Like with your actual skirt, you see when you put like a little crank craw or something on there, I still put a crank craw on my jigs. You screw them on, I bite them on that second segment, and it just fits that jig perfectly. You flip it around. I really like throwing a 3/8 or half. That 3/8 tends to allow me to fish a little bit slower, and then that 1/2 ounce is just a lot more cover I need to get through. And sometimes I'll throw like a 1/4 ounce, like a finesse jig or something like this guy right here. So I've got a lot of colors. My favorite, obviously, like probably like the PB&J or black and blue and like that muddier water. And then you've also got these really good colors like this Texas Craw right here, this Bandito bug, the watermelon red. That fish, this jig right here, this combination has actually caught me a lot of big fish, and I'm gonna be using this a lot this summer. So kind of like my jig box. Those are those Trash Master jigs. You can find them on Carl's Bait and Tackle, and if you actually use the code FreeLure25, you can actually get a free lure like this baby bullgill right here. I know it's not here. That's what I actually had rigged up. You can actually get that when you spend like $25 or more, something like that. So really good deal. Make sure to check that out. Okay, so that's basically it. This is kind of like my fishing section, you know, where I got all my gear and stuff. I can come and just grab what I need and hit the water. It's going to help me bring more content to you guys. And so now just going to rig up some rods, and yeah, go check out that creek, just see what you can catch. A couple of fish, probably bring like a wacky worm, probably flip a jig around a little bit and just see what we can make happen. So yeah, let's rig up a couple rods and hit the water. Alright, so I ended up just deciding to rig up one rod right here. It's got a little jig on there. And I'm just going to bring this jig to this little creek right here. This is a 3/8 jig. I'm just going to see if there's any fish in this little creek and see if we can catch a couple. And yeah, let's go have a good day. So we're almost to the creek right now. Yeah, see you guys when we get there. Alright, well, of course, the moment I turn off the GoPro, that's when this guy decides to eat. Little, not even 1 pounder, but on that little Trash Master jig. Get loose on him real quick. Got him! Oh! Frick. Hit it right when it hit the water. Hit that tree, though, right there. Dang. Little guy, though. Surprised there's not one just kind of right here in this little shade. I think this would be the perfect spot for one. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for today's video. We caught one on a jig, missed one on a jig. Had a decent day, fished for probably about like 30 minutes or so. It's just so hot out right now. But hopefully you like kind of like the tackle tour. I'm going to be kind of doing in-depth videos on some of my favorite baits that I found, like those jigs and stuff. So if you want to see those videos, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Mondo Master.